Well, we had a chance on Tuesday's show to hear from the horse's mouth, so to speak. Jeff Baker wrote a very widely read and has already been widely discussed column. I take it back, was more of an investigative story than a column, on the Seattle Mariners' dysfunction in their front office. And Bob, what it paints is a pretty disturbing portrait of a front office out of control, and really kind of answers a lot of questions as to why the Mariners seemingly have struggled for so long.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot covered in there, and you can check out the interview with Jeff Baker on the podcast page. But I mean, you had comments from Eric Wedge, you had comments from scouts, you had a lot of people that were willing to be named in the story, you had some anonymous sources that are still currently working there, and it all paints a picture. I thought, you know, if you want to talk about who comes out looking bad, yeah, Howard and Chuck they aren't made to look great, but Jack Z, a guy that we love, that we talk to all the time, is engaging and accommodating as anybody you ever meet, is portrayed as a guy that will throw anybody under the bus and will you know, point fingers. It was him, it was him, it was him, it wasn't me. Even releasing somebody, blaming it on others, saying, hey, you did nothing wrong, I had nothing to do with this. So it is not a flattering picture of Jack Z at all, and it just brings me to the question of can this organization succeed with Howard Lincoln still in the position that he occupies, and with Jack Z in control there, because it doesn't paint a picture of a knowledgeable GM or a GM who's in touch with what it's going to take to turn this thing around.
So 1-year contract extension is what he got going into this year. Chuck Armstrong leaving, Howard Lincoln in his mid-70s, maybe short for this world as well. So what's kind of interesting about that is it may not matter. That may not be the face of the organization here in the next couple of years, but it certainly is right now. And also right now during a time where they're trying to make some pretty big changes. They obviously, the huge Robinson Cano signing we know about, they have been connected in rumors with Matt Kemp, who's got $130 million left on his contract, with David Price, who was a former Cy Young Award winner. So all happening during a time where they're looking to make some big moves. And Bob, the other part of it too is this has been a year of almost unprecedented turmoil for him in the front office, including in terms of change and things like that. So there's no doubt about it, you get the sense that the waters are really rocky over there.
Yeah, and hopefully they get it figured out, because with these acquisitions, you don't want the word to be out on the street that Cano made this massive mistake and that it's turmoil there and nobody wants to play there, because you looked at that as a real sea change. I mean, this is a move they've never made before. That's money they've never come close to committing to outside of Felix. So that, you know, that represents a completely different viewpoint, different mindset in building this thing and moving it forward. Last thing you want is the idea out there with any other prospective free agent that you don't want to be a part of that because they have no idea who their GM's going to be, their front office is in a shambles. You don't want that out there.
Yeah, so they need to make, that's why it's so critical the next couple of hours, frankly, the next couple of weeks, that they make the moves they need to make to add to Cano, to try and dispel that. Ultimately, it'll be determined with wins and losses. But hey, if Robbie Cano was the only move they made, that's not going to mean that many more wins.